Is there anything positive about the US dollar? I know there's a lot of talk about inflation and other economic distress. That's only because when it comes to financial planning, we are assuming the worst. We can prepare for the worst. This gives us confidence. We know that even when the whole economy is collapsing, we'll be fine. It doesn't mean everything else is gloom and doom. Our own dollar, in fact, is more stable than many other currencies of the world. It's the number one reserve currency of the world. But there's other ones that are starting to take notice. The euro, the British pound, Japanese yen, the Chinese yuan, were all recognized by the International Monetary Fund as reserve currencies. However, the dollar is still recognized as number one. Ever since the Bretton Woods exchange collapsed, other major governments and central banks have relied on the US dollar to back up the value of their own currencies. Through its reserve currency status, the dollar receives extra legitimacy in the eyes of the domestic users, currency traders, and participants in international transactions. The other reserve currencies are so important, though. For one, it gives countries the options to bypass the dollar when it comes to international trade, and they have exercised this a lot in the last several years. The US still has the largest economy in the world. Even though growth has slowed significantly since 2001, the American economy will still regularly outperforms that of Europe and Japan. Those two also have very robust economic foundations. This means the dollar is backed up by the productivity of American workers, or at least as long as American workers continue to use the dollars almost exclusively. This is why many people argue that the dollar collapsing isn't really something we should be worried about. I'm not going to get too much into that debate, but I'll say this. Even if we're on top, it doesn't mean we should be complacent. It doesn't mean the dollar is not prone to devaluation. It has been devaluing since it has been created. That's why even countries who are huge supporters of the dollar, including our own government, are using another asset to protect themselves against inflation and economic distress. That asset is gold. Central Bank of Serbia said that long-term gold is the most significant guardian and guarantor of protection against inflationary and other forms of financial risk. Imagine that. Central governments relying on gold to protect their country, not just a department, a family, or a city or a province. It's the whole country relying on gold as their last line of defense. So why don't you have gold yet in your portfolio? If you want to know more about it, call us for a no-pressure conversation. And I promise, it's no pressure. 877-646-5347. If you don't want to talk to anyone, but you still want to learn about gold and silver, check out our website, noblegoldinvestments.com. Lots of great articles. You can see the product we sell there. Lots of good information. So check out noblegoldinvestments.com.
If you're interested in investing in precious metals and you want to talk to a no-hassle representative that has experience in physical metal, give us a call. Phone number is 877-646-5347. Our phone lines are always open, and we're happy to answer any of your questions.